During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk just a little bit about corn diseases. If you end up out in a cornfield and you're taking a look at plants and you see, hey, there's something wrong with this leaf or this stalk, there might be a disease. How are you going to figure out what it is? We'd encourage you to download the free Ag PhD Corn Diseases app.
This is where we get called to fields a lot. Farmers will see, hey, something doesn't look right with this plant. And a lot of times they may suspect, I did some foliar fertilizer. I wonder if it burned the leaf or stressed it. Or I sprayed a herbicide out there and maybe it was a hot surfactant with it. And so we get a lot of questions around herbicide or fertilizer application timing. The other thing that we hear a lot is, what about nutrient deficiency? Sometimes they can look a little funky out on those plants. So there are many things that could look similar to a disease. And it's kind of nice when you're out in the field to actually have pictures in hand, because what happens too often is somebody will see me uptown or something like that and say, hey, out in my field, I got something that looks like this. And I don't know, we're not the best at describing those things to each other. And I'm like, well, it could be this, or it could be that, or it could be the other. And it's so much better if you're in your field and have something handy, like right on your smartphone, to take a look at to see if it does kind of look like a disease.
All right, I'm going to make this simple for you. Generally speaking, fertility issues and herbicide issues will be in a pattern in the field. Corn diseases, not so much. A few years ago, Darren and I worked together with the American Phytopathological Society, and we developed this Ag PhD Corn Diseases app just so you would have this information for yourself on your farm to take a look at, because there are a lot of different diseases. It's kind of hard to figure that out. Now, we would certainly encourage you, if you're not sure about if it's a disease or not, send some plants in to a plant pathologist and have them determine, all right, it's this disease or that disease. But if you're looking for good information, including pictures, we'd encourage you to check out this Corn Diseases app.
Now, with all diseases, we'd like to treat with a fungicide perhaps ahead of time, or apply the proper fertility balance out there to avoid the disease. If we can keep that plant healthier all through the season, we lessen the likelihood that we're going to have a disease. But let's face it, if you've already got something that's showing up all over in your field, you just need to figure out what it is, because this year's yield has probably been lost already, whatever you're going to lose to that disease. We want to change it so next year we've got a better plan in place to try to thwart that disease.
Now, that's not to say you couldn't still spray some fungicide and save some of that yield this year. But where Darren's going with this is, fungicides are great at preventing disease, not real great at curing disease. So if you see widespread disease issues all across your field, yes, I agree with Darren 100%. The yield's probably already been lost. It's probably a waste to spend the money on the fungicide. But if you're catching it early, if you're scouting your fields often, then this Diseases app can really help you. You can identify this, and then you can also look at, all right, which hybrids do I have that are susceptible to that disease, and try to figure out where best to invest your dollars.
Well, the big thing for me is that a lot of these diseases, well, they look the same. So take gray leaf spot, for example, and bacterial leaf streak. Gray leaf spot a lot of times is going to follow those leaf veins and use those as borders, and bacterial leaf streak is going to be a little more irregular on the border. That's the best way I can tell the two apart. But when you're out in the field, you do need to take a pretty close look. And if you're getting older, like Brian and I are, you may need to take along your reading glasses, or just use that magnifying glass on your phone and take a picture of that, or zoom in, or whatever you've got to do. But you do want to tell what's different out there so you can manage it properly.
Well, once again, we just encourage you, when you're out scouting your cornfields, to use the Ag PhD Corn Diseases app to help recognize one disease from the next.
Well, unfortunately, a disease is probably not going to take out our Weed of the Week, but we'll show you the best ways to stop it on your farm coming up later in the show.